2 times in the front and 2 times in the back.
All right.
And if you'd like a private screening, we can make that available for you also.
We can do that out here, but if you touch my junk, I'm going to have you arrested.
You remember that guy, the don't touch my junk guy? He wanted a TSA agent to keep his hands off his junk. How do you feel now that the Senate has made it clear it won't even lay a finger on any of our treasured junk and treasured entitlements? Todd Schoenberger is just shaking his head because this well-known stock watcher fears no one's watching out for us. Doesn't look good, Todd.
Yeah, you got that right, Neil, because first of all, if you just look at the simple numbers here, we as Americans, so only 75% will actually receive Social Security benefits by 2036. And that's saying nothing is getting done now. We're obviously not talking about cuts. We're not talking about anything because the Democrats are so worried about the short term that they're forgetting about what's going to happen to us generations down the road.
But you know, if you think about it, none of these are cuts that we're talking about. In the well-known form of the word. They're just slowing the growth of something. So if you take even addressing slowing the growth of something off the table, what's left on the table?
You got that right, because you're just looking at simple baseline budgeting rules right now. And you're right, if you can eliminate that, that would actually help as far as curbing some of the spending. Going forward, though, it's clear that something needs to be done. And we're not talking about, the Republicans do not talk about current beneficiaries of Social Security. We're talking about generations later. The Gen Xers of the world that are out there. The problem is that once you start talking about Social Security cuts, and the Democrats are so worried about those precious retiree votes, clearly they don't want to do anything that's going to upset the apple cart, even though we might be talking about something that will impact us 40 or 50 years down the road. But something needs to be done now.
But we're not doing it now, and I'm arguing that Republicans are punting as well because they're putting off for at least after the election any of the tough decisions. They went and signed on to this 6-month extension to keep, I guess, the government lights on. But, we're not making progress here.
Well, listen, there was a study that came out last year that provided just a very simple math calculation. If you want to add 2 percentage points to payroll taxes slowly over the next 20 years, with some cuts to take place in 20 years for new beneficiaries, that would actually close the gap. The problem is this study came out in 2010. They were looking at 2010 numbers. Now, if you take the same math, clearly we're going to have to raise the payroll tax. You're looking at extending that tax out many years, and as a result, nothing can be done because, as you know, Neil, the longer you wait to solve a problem, the worse the remedy is going to get, and it's going to be quite costly for us down the road the longer we wait.
What is Wall Street going to do longer term? I mean, it seems to have been blithely ignoring this lack of resolve. I cannot see that continuing.
Well, the economic policy plan that Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan have actually talked about is maybe taking a portion of those Social Security accounts and putting them to work with inside the stock market. Now, there's obviously an argument on both sides of this, but it would be nice to see as far as having beneficiaries actually have some skin in the game. Maybe do something, nothing high risk, but something where they could yield a better return, and that would help them. They haven't talked a lot about it on the campaign, only because it seems to be a hot potato issue right now. But Wall Street's looking at this, that if Romney does win, that is something that could occur later on, a couple years from now. Clearly, if Obama wins, it's off the table. Democrats don't want anything to do with it going forward. But I think that would be great for the stock market, and traders are keeping a close eye on this.
Todd, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Likewise, Neil.